Who is America? Who is America?
Episode 6. We're coming in for a lot of flack from some American people, sort of saying that if we don't find it funny, we're being somehow a bit too liberal in one way, and if we don't find it funny, we're also being a bit fascistic.
If we don't find it funny, we're being too liberal.
Yeah, no, too
fascist.
Fascist. Sorry, yeah. We're being like I've had the accusation.
What are we being? What are we being? Come on, give us a straight
what
insult.
I've noticed, and we're going to respond to some of your comments in a later film, because we get a lot of hostile messages if we don't find this particular show funny.
Ooh.
So it's almost like you're not allowed to say Sacha Baron Cohen isn't funny.
Ooh.
Which is interesting.
You know what I love more than anything in the world? What do we like?
What?
Don't people feel free to say how they feel?
No, I agree.
Freedom
it's just
of
fascinating.
speech.
It's fascinating
Freedom
to read.
of speech.
It's fascinating to read. But so contrary to everything, I thought the last two shows have been really weak.
We are two bleeding heart liberals, by the way.
Yeah, I thought the last two shows were really, really weak.
Disappointing.
Bad.
Weak. Used an old trick over and over again. He wasn't clever.
Inappropriate targets insofar as they weren't necessarily the right fish that were biting. They might have been the right targets, but they weren't. His missiles weren't hitting their target in the way that I think he wanted them to. And that's what's caused most upset.
I mean, it's incredibly difficult what he does.
It is.
And I'm sure for every one contributor that makes it to the screen, there are 100 that go to the cutting room floor. Yeah. I just felt the last couple of episodes...
But can I say what I think's happened?
Made it shorter. If you haven't got enough of the series, make it shorter.
But do you know what? I'm going to say what I think's happened. I think they had entered that really tricky period in any series, and having made series, I've made 20-part series, 3-part series, 6-part series, 8-part series. As soon as you get to program 5 or 6, you're in really tricky territory, because you're always going to have weaker material, and you've always got to park it somewhere.
You said that last week.
It's a real fact. You've got to park it somewhere. And I think, though I'm not entirely sure Nadia agrees with this episode, I thought, for me, this episode was a return to form. I was laughing so much. So I hope that proves that we can find him funny.
I don't want to prove anything. I'm just always going to say.
I'm just making the point though. But anyway, so I was happily impressed by this
Okay,
episode.
let's kick off then.
But yeah, moving through it. So the first one was literally an attack on liberalism. That, I think, is a bird that's attacking Kiki in the garden.
Our youngest.
Jill Stein, who was the Green Party's presidential candidate,
sweet.
who was lovely. And you said...
She's too nice to do this too.
She was incredibly nice. I thought it was very entertaining the way he tried to insist that the fact that the seasons change in the same way every year meant that temperatures weren't changing.
Yeah, it was...
I thought it was funny.
For me, all it engendered was... Is that a word?
Yeah, well, it's certainly a word, yeah.
Is it the right word?
I don't know, but there's a helicopter with a whisk attached to it underneath, which
I
thought
find that funny at all.
I thought it was a wonderful idea.
No, it was just silly.
It was straight out of a kid's book.
Exactly. It's a 7-year-old boy would find it funny.
No, I know, but seeing someone who's dedicated her entire life to the ecology of the planet, having to actually even entertain a photo of a helicopter with a whisk underneath, I found that really funny. I thought that was good. The next one was a little kind of, he did one of his little divergent. Howard Dean was the contributor. Again, Americans highlight who that was. He seemed like a very sort of affable, twinkly-eyed guy. Nice chap, but I'm sure he probably isn't. But again, he was trying to insist that Hillary Clinton had a penis. By pointing to
a 7-year-old boy for me again.
Yeah, but I think it was funny 7-year-old boy.
Yeah, because you are a 7-year-old boy.
No, but then he did say to the guy that we're not going to be able to examine her, are we? And then he accused this guy of saying you can't handle the truth. I don't know why. I thought that was quite funny.
Moving on.
Okay, there you go. Okay, well, why don't you start with this one? This one started with a graphic, and I'm a big fan of the graphics in this series, called Fist the Burglar. Obviously, not meaning what we horrendously think that could mean. But this is our Israeli Mossad, not Mossad, terrorist expert. Goes to see, you know these people, do you? Who are the Hollywood Wives?
Yeah, I can't remember from which strand of the Hollywood Wives she's from.
Desperate Wives? What are they called?
I don't know. Hollywood
Real Housewives.
But I can't remember of which one. Orange County. I think she's from the Orange
County.
County one. She hasn't been in it for a few years.
Yeah.
Her and her partner. And he is basically, Mossad, trying to help them secure their property from any chance of
How to defend your bathroom from a terrorist attack. That's a vital tip that I'd like to know.
Oh my God, it was so embarrassing.
I thought the way he dealt with the blokes was so good.
Yeah.
Oh, come on.
No, but I was dying for them.
Yeah, but what he manages to do, which I thought was brilliant, was he manages to, God only knows how, because he was fully in character.
How did he get in there?
Not only how did he get in there, but he managed to tell the husband that he was basically ugly, badly dressed, and started to kind of flirt with his wife.
But I think they always need money. They do all those shows, those two. They've got a nice house, though.
Very nice house. Anyway,
they're kind of like Z-list celebrities.
Anyway, Sacha Baron Cohen starts flirting with the woman, and there was a moment where she had a go at her husband. What's the?
Oh, she always talks to him like that.
Apparently, the husband's a much hated guy. Is he? Is he not? Anyway,
I
thought it was really funny.
That was the only part of the whole show where I did have a slight giggle, but again, I was just really uncomfortable with it. You know what I found with more and more of it is. I think his improvisational skills are second to none. Second to none. And the way he thinks on his feet.
Oh, yeah, totally.
Because, of course, it's all, you know...
It's happening live.
It's happening live.
Yeah.
It is incredible. But I'm just getting more and more uncomfortable with it.
But didn't you like the whole thing about him taking a poo? And obviously he must do a smelly poo because he's a bloke.
Well, it's a bit lavatory. I've never really laughed about poos.
No, I know.
And they say, does it really smell? Yeah, 7-year-old boy.
But isn't he precisely
of course,
taking the piss out? No, but taking the piss out of how lavatorially stupid. He's trying to take it to the lowest place he can.
But they're not bad people. They're two
stupid people.
Idiotic.
They're two really stupid people.
But have probably never done any harm to anyone.
No.
Why go in? For me, it just feels a bit bullying.
Yeah, you're right.
Like the Greenpeace woman was a perfectly nice woman with a real, you know, her intentions are all good.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, obviously the fascist, racist pigs that he shows up, great. But when they're nice people, I don't sit comfortable with it.
What do you think, guys? Is any target a justified target? Because for me...
Not for me. It's a bully. I think it's bullying.
Yeah. Okay, well, the next part, the empathy belly. Masculinity and other crimes. The empathy belly, where he goes to meet a sort of, what was he, a holistic spiritual guru? And he basically tells the spiritual healer that he's been slowly getting his anus used to the idea of giving birth to a baby doll. And I don't think I've ever seen anything quite so shocking in all my life as this entire sequence.
It was just disgusting.
But there was something about it that was...
Do I want to see Sacha Baron Cohen delivering a baby through his anus? No, I don't.
No, I know, but I have to confess that the extent to which the spiritual healer helped him. The spiritual healer was helping him get through childbirth. The
spiritual healer was getting his money.
Do you think?
Of course.
Anyway, so at one point he loses the head inside him, and his Mexican...
No, I don't think she was Mexican.
She was.
Was she?
Yeah. His Mexican... he called her his doula, but in fact she was his cleaner, Sacha Baron Cohen's cleaner. She's literally has her hand all the way up his posterior trying to get the head of a baby out.
Yeah, he says, if you don't, then I'm going to remove your papers and you're going to be taken off by immigration. And, you know, that's him making a political statement. Yeah, that I was fine with that. But you had a quibble.
What did you think of the spiritual healer? Do you think he was a fair target or not?
Wow, he was getting his money. It was all right. He got a smile out.
But don't you think some of this wacky... So when I filmed in Sedona, Arizona, there are lots of people who are just... No, but there are lots of these crackpots just selling...
That's why he was fine. I didn't mind. I didn't think he was in any way being compromised because
Sorry. No, go on.
I didn't think he was being compromised. I think he was kind of holding on from laughing himself. He was getting a nice fat check.
Yeah.
Whereas the Greenpeace woman, her intentions were so genuine and authentic and believed in saving the planet, and he took the piddle out.
I don't know if anyone in this would have been given a check at all. I think that would have been part of the deal.
No,
I disagree. I disagree. I think that might be the skill of the research team.
Those two celebrities. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
The girl when she did the when she got dressed up in the yellow suit for the.
All right, okay. Well, part 2 came. I mean, I've literally never seen anything like some of those shots. I was like that. But the part 2 started with a bit of a weird one with the head of the National Institute of Health, where the funniest part of it was where he's trying to imply that trans fatty acids
have made him transgender. Which was quite funny.
That is a funny kind of gag, but...
it's just one gag, like...
Yeah, and that was it. That was kind of, it was a filler. I felt it was a filler. And then, of course, totally your territory, we then went to a food critic called Bill Giller. Do we know this guy, Bill Giller? We've not heard of him over here. He must be big over there. But we had a little montage establishing him.
And he's been told that the prisoner character that we've seen before, the ex-con, has basically the talent to be a Michelin star chef. So he's sat in this posh restaurant, everything is very, very posh, and he's brought out one course after another, culminating in...
Well, hang on, let's move through them. The medley baked beans on toast.
Yeah,
I thought that was funny. But
that was funny.
But but can I just say?
Because he eats it like it is the most...
And this is a.
But I know what they did there. They got a Michelin star chef.
Of course they
to
did.
make all this food.
So do you think that's a fair trap? It's not really a fair trap. Is that a fair trap for a food critic? Because it would have tasted nice.
His job. It's his job, and he was made a total fool of.
But I do sometimes get annoyed.
Because the food still tasted exquisite. The fact that he put it in a condom.
Well, a condom that...
But until the end, when he didn't seem to mind that it was a human being he was eating.
Well, yeah, you've just blown the punchline there. Yeah, the fillet of vegetarian-fed Chinese dissident. He literally told a food critic that he was eating part of a Chinese person.
The loin
doesn't end there.
Of a vegetarian-fed Chinese person.
Dissident. So clearly someone like, what's his name? The artist, IYY. And my thing's just fallen off. So that was the most remarkable, but not only did he eat what he thought to be the loin of a dissident Chinese person.
He got him to turn to camera and thank the parents of the man that had been killed.
And he said...
say thank you, and said thank you. So to me, that man literally must have been lobotomised.
It's quite remarkable. But I'm pleased because I feel there's so much pretentiousness talked about food. And this man believed he'd eaten part of a Chinese man, and he thanked the family, saying it was an honour, his loin, I enjoyed so much.
But can anyone? He must be unwell. Mentally unwell.
Have a look at it and tell us whether you think he's mentally unwell. The montage didn't suggest he was very well balanced. That established him. Did you think? Okay, so here's, for the record, I thought this was a return to form, and I feel that this is that little upturn towards the end of the series. It's going to just keep getting better. We've had a little lull, and I think it's going to keep getting better.
How many more of this series left?
I think there's 2 more. You're not enjoying it, are you? It's too cringe.